Hey guys, Alex here from Joy Pilates, and today I'm going to be taking you through a little glute activation workout. So this is great if you really have trouble turning on your glutes when you're in a Pilates class. So you will need a band for this workout. The ones that we sell on the website look like this. These will do. If you have a loop band, that's also quite good. Otherwise, we can just tie this up so it is in a loop. So we're going to start the workout today lying down onto our back. So I want you to come down onto your mat and you're going to have your knees bent and your feet flat. That's it. I'll get you to start with a neutral spine. So you've got a tiny little curve through your lower back. So you should just be able to place your fingertips underneath your lower back. That's it. I'll get you to have your arms out nice and long. And I'll get you to shrug your shoulders up around your ears. And then I'll get you to draw them all the way down your back. That's it. And again, shrug your shoulders up around your ears. And then draw them all the way down your back, and then you're going to firmly place the backs of your shoulders down into the ground. See? So from here, we're going to be moving into a hip roll. So you're going to gently move out of neutral and into imprinted spine. So you're pressing your lower back down into the ground. And then you're going to slowly peel your spine all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. You're coming all the way to the top so that you end up with a straight line from your shoulders, hips and knees. Now at this point, we really want to tuck our tailbone under, bring our pubic bone as far forward as we can, and feel that exercise in the glutes and the hamstrings. So if we tilt our pelvis the other way, we're going to feel this exercise through our lower back as well. So we want to tuck our tailbone under and make our glutes and our hamstrings do a lot of the work. You may also feel muscles that are running down along your spine, which is fine. You just don't want to experience any pain in your lower back. We're going to hold it up at the top. We're tensing our glutes, so we need to actively think about tensing our glutes. And then we start to roll back down, upper back, mid back, lower back, rolling back into neutral. Okay, so we're going to keep moving through this. You're imprinting your spine, you're rolling up one vertebrae at a time. You're coming all the way to the top, and then you're rolling back down. So there can be many reasons as to why our glutes are not switching on. Sometimes you can have knee injuries that actually cause your glutes to become weak, or your weak glutes or your inactive glutes cause knee problems. So it can go both ways. Also, if you're sitting at a desk all day, if you're sitting in a chair, your glutes become quite lazy, weak, and a bit inactive. They're not really having to do anything while you sit in that chair. So then if you leave work and you come to Pilates and we're doing glute work, you might have trouble activating your glutes, or if you go home and do your online workout. So there's a few little exercises that we can do to try and get our glutes to switch on. Now everyone can be quite different, and you might find some exercises are better at helping you switch on your glutes. So if you find that one exercise works more than the other, I want you to stick to doing more reps of that exercise outside of this video than the other exercises. See? Once you learn how to switch on your glutes with one exercise, all it takes is one exercise, then you'll find it'll start to become easier to turn on your glutes through other exercises. So with these hip rolls, we're basically working our bigger glute muscle. So we're just basically warming up the glutes, getting them to fire up. But this exercise doesn't necessarily work into those smaller glute muscles, but we'll get to that soon. So we're going to do another 5. You're rolling down one vertebrae at a time, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Remember to tuck your tailbone under and bring your pubic bone forward. Let's do 4 more. That's it. Relax your shoulders down your back. Nice. 3 to go. Nice. 2 more. That's it. 1 more. We come all the way up and we hold here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we roll back down. We're going to do another variation now. This time it's going to be single leg. So you're going to imprint your spine. You're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. I will give you an alternative though, because this exercise is quite tricky to do correctly. So if you're finding that it's not working for you, I will give you an alternative in a moment. So you're going to float your right leg to tabletop, and when you do that, try not to drop your hips. Squeeze that glute that's on the ground and lift up. You're then going to reach your foot to the ceiling, flex your toes back towards your chest, and we roll back down. That's it. Nice. And then we roll back up, reach that foot up to the ceiling. When you think you've come up the whole way, so you've got a straight line from your shoulders, hips and knees, I actually want you to push up another inch. Feel that work into your hamstring and your glute. We roll back down and roll back up. We're not going to do many reps. We're going to do another 3. Rolling down nice and slow, rolling up for 2, rolling down slowly, rolling up. Last one. Return that leg back to tabletop, place it down onto the ground. Now, if you need an alternative to that, you can simply just keep your leg in tabletop position to do that. You roll down and you roll up. If you find this quite hard, you only need to really lift your bum a few inches off the ground. Okay? So that's a little modification that you can do. We're going to move to the other side. So you imprint your spine, you come all the way up, 1 vertebrae at a time. So you've got a straight line from your shoulders, hips and knees. You float your other leg to tabletop, and then you reach it up towards the ceiling, flexing your toes back towards your chest. And we roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Reaching your heel up to the ceiling, pushing up that little bit further, and then we roll back down. Nice. Rolling back up, spreading out your toes, try not to crunch them up. And we go for another 3. Rolling down. 2. That's it. Last one. Coming all the way up. That's it. Return that leg back to tabletop. Place your foot back down on the ground and gently roll your spine all the way back down. Just pulling your knees in towards your chest, gently rocking from side to side. All right, now from here, you're going to have your feet and your knees nice and wide. We're going to have a neutral spine, so you've got a tiny little curve through your lower back. Relax your shoulders down your back, press the backs of your shoulders into the ground. Your spine's neutral and we squeeze our glutes and we come all the way up. That's it. I want you to lower back down, but this time your bum will be the first thing to touch the ground. Squeeze your glutes and come back up. So rather than rolling down 1 vertebrae at a time, that's it. We're squeezing our glutes to come up. We're lowering down, our bum is the first thing to touch. Squeeze, lift back up, and roll back down. Or not roll back down, place your bottom back down. And lift. Lower. We're going for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. We come all the way up and hold for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way back down. Nice work. I'll get you guys to come up now. I'm going to turn over and come into a kneeling hip flexor stretch. So you can always roll up your mat if you need extra padding underneath your knee. I'll get you to step your right foot forward. Now, rather than just lunging into this stretch, I'll get you to stay upright, nice and tall. Your front knee is stacked over your ankle, so try to avoid having your foot back like that. Okay? The stretch won't work. So your knee is right over your ankle. I want you to place one hand on your pubic bone, one hand on your tailbone. I want you to gently tuck your tailbone under and bring your pubic bone forward. Now in doing so, it's almost like you're flattening out your bottom. Okay, we call it pancake bump. So we're going to hold that there. You'll instantly feel this extra pull through the front of your leg. So I want you to hold, and then what I'll get you to do is squeeze your left glute really, really tight. Hold onto that squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Release that squeeze, and when you release it, I want you to try and tuck under a little bit more. Go a little bit deeper into that stretch. We'll squeeze again for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Tucking under a little bit more. We go again, squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. And again, one more time, squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice work. Let's change sides. Stepping your left foot forward. One hand on your pubic bone, one hand on your tailbone. Tucking your tailbone right under, feeling that pull through the front of your leg. We squeeze our right glute now. Squeeze it really tight and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Let's do one more. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let everything go. So now we're going to be using our band. I'll get you to stand up, and we're actually going to be tying the band around our feet. So you want the band to be fairly tight. So if you've got your loop band, you just place it around your feet. Otherwise, just tie a little knot. You've got to be careful not to trip on the band. So you want the band to be underneath the ball of your feet, and the band should just be touching your small toe. I want you to separate your feet so that you can feel that stretch in the band. From here, I'm going to get you to come down into a quarter squat. In doing so, I'll turn onto the side. In doing so, I want your knees to stay back from your toes. So I don't want you to bend your knees forward like that and let them go over your toes. You bend your knees and you drive your hips and your bottom back. So imagine you're sitting back into an invisible chair that's behind you at the end of your mat. So you're trying to sit back into that mat, into that chair. So we're going to hold here. We want to check through our side profile in a mirror, if possible, that your knees are not going past your big toes. So we want to sweep those knees back and point our bottom to the ceiling. Also, I want you to make sure, look down at your knees and make sure that your knees are not rolling inwards. That's it. So you don't want to come down into the squat and let your knees come in. We want to drive them out, create that space between them. So from here, I want you to start by taking a little step out with your right foot. Now you want to take a little step in with the left foot. So at no point do I want you to bring your feet close together again. We want to keep that resistance on the band. So we take a little step out and a little step in, little step out, little step in. The whole time we're thinking about pointing our bottom up towards the ceiling. So we take a little step out, little step in, little step out, little step in. That's it. And I want you to keep your shoulders back and down. Keep your back nice and straight. Little step out, little step in. Make sure your knees are not rolling inwards. So there's a lot to think about with this exercise. That's it. Little step out, little step in. Nice. Try and stay nice and slow and controlled. Your abs are drawing in. Your bottom's pointing up to the ceiling. Your knees are staying back from your toes. That's it. Little step out, little step in. Nice. Your glute is having to stabilize to stop your foot from coming too far in. So when you step out, you'll feel the other glute stabilize to keep you controlled. Nice. Let's do a few more laps. Keep your bottom pointing back. Abs are in tight, shoulders are back and down. Your back is nice and straight. That's it. Little step out, little step in. All right, let's do one more lap. That's it. And then returning to the center of your mat. Nice work. I'll get you to we'll take the band off, just place it next to you. Keep it tied up if you do have a long band. We're going to return back into that hip flexor stretch. So in your kneeling position, your knees over your ankle, you're tucking your tailbone under, and I'll get you to squeeze and release your glute. That's it. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze and hold, release. Squeeze and hold, release. Tucking your tailbone under a little bit more. 1 more. Squeeze and hold and release. Changing sides. Tucking your tailbone right under pancake bottom. And then we squeeze and release our glute. Every time you release, try and go a little bit deeper into the stretch. That's it. Tucking under a little bit more, squeezing and releasing 3 more times. Last one, squeeze and hold and release. Nice work. So we're going to be finishing off this glute activation video with some clamshells. So you're going to be placing your band around your legs. This time the band will sit just above your knees. We're going to be lying onto our side and we're coming into a clamshell position. So some of you may be familiar with this position if you've done Pilates before. Your bum will be lining up with the back of the mat. Your feet are also lining up with the back of the mat. That's it. Now, I'll get you to place your top hand out in front and you're going to stretch your bottom arm out and you're going to rest your head comfortably on your arm. You're pointing your bottom back, but you're also thinking about keeping your abs in tight. So it's really important to find that balance between keeping your abs in and pointing your bottom back. You don't want to point your bottom back too much because then it's going to cause your lower back to cave inwards. That's it. So from here, I want you to keep your feet resting on the ground, particularly that bottom heel, all right? That sneaky bottom heel likes to float up and make this exercise a little bit easier. So we're going to keep that bottom heel down. And then you're going to open your top knee. And then I only want you to close it halfway. You're going to open and close halfway. I'll get you to place your hand now on your glute, just to help strengthen that message from your brain to your glute to say, hey, this is the muscle we want to switch on. Now, if you're watching this video, it's probably because you've had some trouble activating your glutes in the past. So it is possible that in this clamshell position, you'll start to feel the front of your hip working. You might even start to feel like it's cramping up. That's it. We want to feel this exercise more through the glute. So if that's you, if you're having trouble activating your glute and all you can feel is the front of your hip, then I want you to try sweeping your legs back a little bit more. So your feet end up back behind your glutes and your hips are in less flexion, so less of a flexed position. That's it. If you still have trouble activating your glutes with this exercise, and you found that the exercise we did before with the band around your feet worked really well at getting your glutes to switch on, then I'd prefer for you to go back to that exercise and do that instead. Otherwise, you're going to open and then close your knee halfway. Open, close. And I want you to stay up through your bottom waist. You're forming a tiny little curve underneath your waist. And just check that your top hip hasn't rolled back. So you want to keep that top hip stacked on top of the bottom hip. You can help support your hip while also holding onto placing your hand over your glute. That's it. All right. We're not going to do any other exercises in this side lying series. We're just focusing on this clamshell so we can get our glute to switch on. So we're going to go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and rest everything back down. Nice. Give your bottom a little smack. We are going to change sides. So turning around, your bottom will be at the back of the mat, feet at the back of the mat. But if you find that your hip cramps up, just sweep your legs back. You're lifting up through your waist and your hips are staying stacked. So we don't want to let our waist just collapse inwards. We want to draw our hip away from our top shoulder. Your feet will stay together and you're going to open your knee and then close it halfway. Open, close halfway. Nice. Staying up through your waist. Try and fight against the resistance of that band. So you want to push up as high as you can without letting your hip roll back. And just gently placing your hand on your glute, trying to get it to switch on. If you are having trouble with this, another little trick you can do is go back into that hip flexor stretch position and just spend a little bit more time there, releasing the hip and then coming back into this exercise. And you might find that you can get the glute to switch on more than the hip. That's it. All right, let's go for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and relax everything back down. Give your bottom a little smack, and I'll get you to take the band off, and we're just going to finish with a little glute stretch. So I'll get you to place your right ankle over your left knee. You're going to interlock your hands behind your left leg, and you're going to pull your knee in towards your chest. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, pull your knee further in towards you. One more, breathe in. Big breath out, pulling your knee further in towards you. And then we'll change sides, placing your ankle over your knee, interlocking your hands behind your right knee, pulling your knee in towards your chest. Breathing in and out, pulling your knee further in towards you, and then slowly release. So that's the end of your glute activation workout. If you are still having trouble switching on your glutes, feel free to reach out to us. It'd be best to send an email to hello@duopilates.com.au. All right, see you next time. Bye.